I started recording. Um, it's recording. It's recording. So as I was saying, like from the beginning, if there is one aspect of being a freelancer that I delved into and I feel like perfected in my own. Connection one. Okay, I think everything's fine. Okay. Okay, can everyone hear her? Yes, please. Pardon the hiccups. It's load shedding. We have to make do with what we've got. Like I said, please raise your hand and stop me if you can't hear me, guys. Okay. And yeah, pardon me. Okay, cool. Let's go. This is going to be very short and precise. I'm sure, just like how I like to work and do things. So let's get going. I just wanted to put this slide here to remind all of you of why you're here, in case you forgot. What's this webinar about? Oh, hello. We are talking about onboarding clients for success as freelancers, especially in South Africa, because this is the most important, I would say, aspect of your business, or procedure, step, or system that you need to have in place. So, when done right, it needs to be done right. When done right, you can assure yourself and the client that most probably the relationship ongoing is going to be a very, very smooth one. Hence, we are here today discussing onboarding clients for success to ensure that the working relationship with the client is successful, it's effective, it's productive, and it's all things positive because that is exactly what you need. Nice to meet all of you. I am Nompilo Malinga. As some of you know, to some of you, I'm new. That is who I am, Nompilo Malinga, originally from Newcastle, but am based in Durban, trying to be all over South Africa. I am a social media manager. I think everyone is here. I'm a social media manager, and you might wonder how it even started. It literally started where, as something that I saw as a need. So my background was initially in fashion. I studied fashion. I was working at corporate in fashion, and then I just felt like my employer needed this thing, and I offered to do the social media, and like I wanted them to have a social media presence, and literally the rest was history because that was when it started with me with that employer, just as a side hustle, as something that I felt like they needed. It's something that I felt like was fun for me, and I wasn't even getting paid at that time. Fast forward, I obviously from that experience, I started doing more of it, approaching more companies, just expanding my side hustle in the social media and managing space. and then um, opening an actual agency about 2 years ago. I have close to 10 years digital marketing experience with what started as a lifestyle blog. Another random. I had a lot to do and a lot to say, and I wanted a platform. So I decided to create a blog. I remember even at that time, like now, getting a blog and a website is 100 times worse than at that time. I had no knowledge, and now I'm even schooled in it. But created a, like got a domain, hosting, created a whole website, and I was like, what? I can do this. And it just also created another whole snowball of my life in digital marketing just from that blog. I like to solidify a lot of my skills. I don't want, it's not because everyone, you always need to be educated in something. Sometimes, honestly, it's skill good enough. But went, as I was side hustling and acquiring all the skills, I would, you know, study as well. So I obtained my a certificate in media design, specializing in graphic and web design in 2022. Also have my certificate in digital marketing. And anyway, just wanted to give you a brief breakdown of who I am as a freelancer, basically. I have had the pleasure to work with quite a few people. I've just chosen a few because I was like also choosing um, some companies that will be relatable per se, not that they are important or more special or anything, but yeah, also just wanted to give a wider scope of the work that I have kind of immersed myself into. In the past years, I've worked with Froggy, Fashion Fusion. Froggy is a shoe shop, the nationwide. Fashion Fusion, it's a fast fashion shop. I've worked with DSTV and Makosini Hotel Group. They are Durban based. I've worked in the restaurant and lounge industry with like Durban's biggest nightclubs and lifestyle clubs. And then I also work with like influencers on the influencer marketing strategies, the social media managing and so forth. Namely Nana Atta and going on to Leia and Azwane, as I have briefly mentioned a few. Yeah, enough about me. I just want to quickly send a shout out to the Collabora Hub team. I mean, I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for the entire team. So I'm just going to say what we're doing here is not easy. We're pouring in time and effort, and it's all for the benefit of, yes, us, but mostly for others. We're doing it for the good of the whole community as a whole. And it's not easy. It doesn't take, anyone to just do that. Just want to say, Collabora, you are all wonderful superstars, and I wish you guys nothing but the best as a team. Okay, enough, I swear. Enough with the pleasantries and formalities. Let's dive into it. What is even the importance of having an onboarding process or system? Is it a freelancer's thing? You may wonder. No, absolutely not. Big companies literally have their own systems. It's just that they are all covered in the, how would I put it? It's like it's a big company. Obviously, you are expecting procedures and processes and things that are put in place. And then this is literally what it is as well for freelancers. You know, it's having processes, and it's having are we all still together? Just give me a thumbs up, please. I saw a notification about connection and losing and errors. Okay, cool. Thank you, guys. Let's continue then. I'm getting lots of thumbs ups and yay, yay, yay. So let's keep going. Number one, on your onboarding process. Just to put it out there once again, every information we consume, we take with a grain of salt, right? Um, I have done quite an intensive research on this process. I have compared it with my peers and industry thought leaders. This is not to say you are to do this, that, but happy for you to use it as a guide. And honestly, it's been working for me for the past 2 years, even. And it's information and research and knowledge I've acquired in the past years, just gelled together, but use it to your own discretion. Firstly, initial contact and communication. Always attend to a client reaching out promptly and always maintain that promptness. You do not want to introduce something, it's like boyfriend and girlfriend, initial stages. Y'all are introducing one another to certain lifestyles and this and that, the bells and the whistles. And then the minutes the relationship is going, someone starts lacking, and you do not want to do that with your clients. Um, you know, you you always want to keep that promptness with them. Not to say you must always be available, um, but how you react to a client reaching out to you initially, it's important to maintain also going forward, because you don't want them to think, oh, they just wanted my contract. Even if it's not the case, just always try. Um, Avoid promising all the bells and the whistles at initial contact. You must rather over deliver than under deliver. This is what I have a problem with the most, like till today. I would be in conversation with the client and it's like, oh my gosh, you also have a website. Immediately I'm thinking, oh, maybe when you need to change your banners, just give me a shout, we can use the content we've created to do, already. It's like, no, For example, maybe this client is just looking for social media management, and here I am now wanting to offer them my, website management services. It's like, you need to get the idea of what the client needs and requires from you first before you can go. Um, and lastly, now is the time to introduce your level of professionalism. I'm putting this point here because we we don't work the same. Companies don't work the same, no matter the size, and how much more as freelancers. We don't normally operate the same way. Maybe you are friendly, like more friendly with your clients, which is completely okay. Um, Maybe you are, the strict type. You want to keep things like from the language to the tone, to the times of contact. You want to keep it at a certain. Now is the time to also, because remember again, boyfriend and girlfriend, you do not want to introduce your client to something that you will not be maintaining as a relationship continues. Um, so yeah, that's number one. Moving on to the second step to your onboarding process. This is now understanding the client's needs. This is where you ask all the relevant questions to help gather as much information as possible about the project or task they need you to help with. You need to gather their requirements, their goals, and their expectations. Very key. So how I would normally gather all this information, their requirements, their goals, and their expectations, I have a standard questionnaire that I always tailor and maneuver around to obviously fit the specific client's inquiry, because they're not always going to be the same. Sorry. Um, he's upset. Questionnaire example questions. So these are the questions that I will play around with to just gather information from that potential client or from the inquiry that I have just received. Um, you need to ask them things like, they need to tell you, oh, by the way, just side note, we promise to give everybody like something special, like an onboarding guide at the end of this webinar if you've decided to join us today. And the questionnaire is going to be that. Obviously, it's going to be a whole guide, but like a more detailed version of this questionnaire and the questions that you can like use and play around with to like acquire your clients and stuff. And I'm very excited for y'all. Anyway, you ask them questions like, tell us what is your business about. You need them to give you a brief overview of the industry they're in. Type you need to find out who is their target audience and what are their interests and behaviors, because obviously that person is in that business or they started their business. They are like aware of what the industry is about and you want to hear from them. Yes, you're going to do your own research, but it's just nice to always have the client, giving you their perspective. You need to find out what are their project goals and objectives. What is their timeline or deadline for that specific project they need you to help with? What is the budget allocated for the project? You need to ask for that. Um, I am one personally who's not comfortable to talk about money and finances, and these are all personal issue things. But honestly, very key, important. You need to find out if they've worked with any freelancers before, especially pertaining that particular project or task that they are tasking you with. You need to find out what their communication preferences are, like what do they use the most, email? Is it going to be over WhatsApp? How many phone calls? Are there specific times for phone calls? You just need to find out what they're comfortable with. You need to ask them to provide you with a detailed description of the projects or tasks that they need assistance with. And if they've already done, if they have any existing material or resources that they've done, because this is going to give you a very nice and clear idea of um, where they are, what they want, and and maybe where you can now come in. You need to find out who their competitors are, and or at least examples of work they admire. Competitor doesn't have to be like a person they're in competition with, but it could just be like the businesses they're in the same industry as. Yeah, moving on to the third step to your onboarding process. I only have about 5 or 6 steps, so I did say this was going to be short and sweet. I hope it's precise, and I hope it's valuable. I hope it's giving knowledge. Like I said, raise your hand, and you know, willing to stop and give more if there's anything I might be leaving out, or you feel I'm leaving out. So what you then do, you've obviously been in conversation with this client, right? um Maybe they came to you, maybe you approached them, but you pretty much know what they need, what their business is about, and how you can come in and solve their problems, because they wouldn't have came to you if they weren't dealing with a particular problem that they need your services to solve, you know. So we now need to work on it. I have a little person side eyeing me. Oh my gosh. um, Using all the previously gathered information, prepare a detailed proposal or offer for the client, detailing what they need, what you will provide, and how much everything will be. The contract would normally include, I mean, the proposal would normally include a contract, invoicing. Yes, so on the proposal, that is where some people normally include it at this stage, but with research and also sometimes well, even me, with like some clients, I the contract invoicing and payment details, sometimes I do them at step 4. It depends on the extensiveness of the conversation you've had with the client, because honestly sometimes it's so easy, the conversation is so smooth. You'll excuse me, you'll manage to iron out a couple of things in your initial talking stages. The questionnaire provides you with probably almost everything you need. So it's so easy for you to put together a proposal for the client, and then you just include the contract while you edit, because you already know what they want and what you'll be doing. You include your invoice. Your invoice is obviously going to have payment details and so forth. Also, I just really like, the more you provide the client at this stage, at the proposal stage, like just the better. Because if they have anything to nitpick, they're gonna do it here. And then you're just gonna be like finalizing things, and after that, I think I did include an example of, oh yes, so this is an example that I have just given you of the invoice with like payment details. It would have the logo, like important details. Where is it from? Who is it going? Like, this is an actual invoice that I did for a client, whatever the service or whatever it was, but it's an actual invoice that I did and submitted. You can just use it, also copy it, get a template from Canva, just check maybe from here. These are like important details that I would normally have. Some companies would want you, or they would want you, what am I saying? Some clients, companies, whatever, who you're working with, they would provide you with the invoice details. Yes, you would just include them over there. You include your own invoice details, and you put in your company VAT number, your address, banking details, you know the works. But like generally, standardly, with like not hectic clients, this invoice over here is just honestly my go-to. I just, go change the details to whomever they need to be applicable to, and I'm almost good to go. Um, it's nice that this webinar is going to be available for you to download, and you can just copy the chart and create your own invoice. Moving on. Number 4, to seamlessly onboarding new clients for success. Ah. I was gonna say but the fact that I even typed there, this is my favorite booklet ever. It is. It is. Like I said, the onboarding procedure is my fave. So obviously, the tools that come with it are also gonna be. Just one sec. This booklet here, the reason why I love it is because it honestly just solidifies everything now, with the client that you have, or with the relationship that you are about to be building with the client. It's everything is lined out perfectly, it's detailed. All the documents you'll probably have been sharing back and forth, invoice, contracts, all your amended, finalized documents, will probably include them here on this booklet. You know, uh, I had a point here that I wanted to make. Basically, it's just all your communication that you've been having with the client up to this point. The onboarding booklets is where um it's where everything is going to be. That's why it's like my favorite book, because like I said, it solidifies every communication aspect, and every detail that you have been going back and forth about. And, it tells the client, okay, this is the road that we're going to be undertaking, you and I, and this is how we're going to travel on this road. I did include an example of the booklet, of my actual booklet that I use. Oh, let's give it a second. Slow. Again, this is an actual booklet that I sent to the client. We have a beautiful, pretty cover page. I think it's just for social media managing digital marketing. Whew, I don't know. Just need to also click my bag, and it's also so hot. Yo. Okay. You design a pretty cover page. Sometimes I like to change cover pages for clients, but sometimes I like to keep them per industry, honestly, as long as it's pretty and it's relative. Um, oh, no. Oh, no, sorry, I wasn't meant to go to the next page. Let me take a look. Yeah, so cover page, a nice welcome message to the client. You introduce your team, the people that are going to be working on the account, the point of contacts for the client. You introduce them over there. You list now. Isn't you did a whole questionnaire? You compiled research via an well, you did a whole contract and you invoice them and everything. What are you going to be doing for the client? Services offered. Like I said, this was most probably for it was digital marketing and social media manager client. I list here the services that I am going to be offering. Oh, I did that again. It's a team services offered. It's more of the services I was offering this particular client. I have a project timeline. Isn't in the questionnaire. I asked what the issues were, what they needed, how long, and what their budgets was around the time frame. Now, according to what I am going to be doing and providing, I do a nice detailed project timeline for the client to be aware of. Okay, now we are at this stage. Next is going to be this stage, and after this step, it's going to be next step. This is what the next step would be, and just clear information and communication throughout. Um, I also just would include the project goals, what's exact why, why my services for, and why am I going to be doing whatever it is that I'm going to be, why am I going to be providing those services for the client. Project goals, I would enlist them over there. Oh my God, this is the last time I'm doing it with a mistake. Pardon me. And then you tell the client what the next steps would be. You include the contracts, whatever the final contract was. Maybe there were amendments and changes that you had back and forth about on the invoice. But basically you are sending these booklets and like that's your client. You're gonna be working with that person. Everything is, sealed. You're sending them these booklets, can now include all your final like paperworks and so that you all are all on the same page. Also on same page because you're on the last point of communication. Yes. Okay. The final. Is it the final step or the second last? Project management tools and communication channels. This is where you um sorry guys, we'll make sure this thing and make sure this is like amended. Don't know if it's a page duplicate or what, but you get the proper at the end. Basically, project management and communication tools. You and the client need to be on the same page about how you'll be communicating the work going forward. Project management tools. Personally, on the slide that's supposed to be here, I had Notion. I use Notion because it's just chef's kiss for starters, but also it's such a great tool because it keeps everything of yours in one dashboard. You have all your clients in one dashboard and all your clients everything under like it's just so amazing. So I would create, for example, Nompilo Malinga dashboard. I would have a content calendar for, let's say it's a social media management client in Nompilo Malinga. I have a content calendar on Notion under the dashboard. I would have a folder for the content ideas. And on the content calendar, you can actually have the actual content itself and where it's going to be. Is Instagram, that's just how an example of how detailed Notion could be. Obviously, we're all in different industries. I save documents on Notion, like the contracts, the welcome booklet that I would have sent to the client. I also keep it on there for their perusal and my perusal. Contracts, invoices. Notion is just a really great project management tool. Some people use Monday. Monday has been around for a very long time. Can't fault it. So that's just another example. Um, Research and people say they also use Canva for this. Now I know, um, I don't know how much admin, because I mean, you're talking about project management. I don't know how much admin you can do on Canva. I'm open to learning this because with the research that's there, it's not giving for every freelancer, maybe I would say, but perhaps for more like my industry, digital marketing, social media managing, content creating, and so forth, it might give. But let's all look into it. Maybe we can share. I'll always chat about it later. And then you also need to establish the communication channels that you're going to be using with the client, because it's more or less like your final stages. Now you need to know, okay, going forward, do we have a WhatsApp group? Um, who is in the WhatsApp group? Who creates? Is there an existing company WhatsApp group that you need to be joining? Is there a Facebook group? Um, Email, do we speak via email as me the service provider and you the client? It's just very important to establish. Maybe you can have a relationship whereby your where your day-to-day communication would be over WhatsApp, and I think most nowadays we must do it like that. And then you have weekly email, maybe on send on a Friday, like an update of the weekly scope and where you stand and so forth. I don't know. It just depends. Depends on how the client would like to work. That's why this is an important step to establish it in that onboarding process while you are, you know, acquiring and signing the client to know, hey, going forward, this is how, we will work. This is how you will receive like particular information, and oh, this is how you can reach me. It's important for you actually as the service provider. This is how you can reach me. um in emergencies, maybe you provide a cell phone number, or and then they know on a Monday, maybe they send you an email of what their requirements are for the week. Just small things like that. Important, very, very important. Yeah. I hope we are still together on the same page. I think we are pretty much coming to the end. I'm really sorry about this slide. I'll fix it up. Excuse me. And last but not least, the kick-off meeting. Finally. Yes, I am saying finally because at this stage, really, like I am saying, oh, finally, regarding the client and I's communication, it's like, okay, we are doing this and let's do this. But also, I just want to highlight that this is where you and the client are now sitting down and they are telling you what their ideas are or what your ideas. Only at this point, guys, emphasis, only at this point are you getting into discussing strategies and oh, this is what I would like. I was thinking of this, and now you on time. Oh, hey, I have actually, in the midst of us the onboarding process, I've also just been strategizing and jotting down these ideas and thinking of this. So that's only here, only at this stage is this happening. Um, and no, it's not really written in the book, but also it is written in the book because you don't want to be over. Okay, as I was saying, this is literally where ideas are shared, and because it can really happen that you go through like step one, step two, like all the way up to step three with the client, and they still decide to pull back, you know. Um, Now imagine them pulling back, and you had already given them your entire holy grail of what you were going to be offering and doing for them. Like it's not nice. It's not nice. It's not nice to withhold because I'm sure as you're onboarding a new client, you're excited, right? You wanna you want to sell yourself one, and also you wanna excite them. You yourself are excited of all the things that you're gonna be doing to them for them and offering for their businesses. All this amazing services that you are bringing to the table to change their lives. You are excited, but I mean we just really have to be strict, unfortunately, as freelancers. Surely big companies, well, I've been at corporates and I know they hold back as well. Because at the end of the day, the importance of this onboarding process, right? And it is for them to real they came to you, or maybe you approached the client, even if you did approach. But throughout the onboarding process, you are highlighting your importance as a service provider while also making them feel, like feel that importance as the inquirer or as the client. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with just withholding and trying not to be overly excited. Only when we are here, when you schedule with you have gone through step one, two, three, four, five, you have sent them a booklet, you are clear on how you're going to be communicating, moving forward, and now you'll set a kick-off meeting according to schedule, your schedule. You'll work out obviously a beautiful time for the two of y'all, or however many of y'all, and you'll sit down and you'll have the kickoff meeting. And if you're strategizing there, then excellent. But ideas and this is where I now need to start flying. Not at any point before this. I'm sorry. No. We've been burned too many times. Everyone has been burned, no matter your size as a service provider. So, oh, I think we're done. Oh, yes, we're done. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you for being here. Um, I hope this was valuable. I tried to provide as much value as I could. And this is honestly, literally how I work, how I do it. And it works. It's been working for me. So I'm excited to be sharing it with you. Hoping it's going to work. Obviously, tailored to yourself, but I know it's going to work for you too. Just do your research and all the nitty gritties. That yeah. I'm done rambling. Thank you, guys, for spending your Friday afternoon with me. It just goes to show how much you care about your freelance journeys. Because can you imagine it's a Friday and here we are working on bettering our freelance businesses, you know. Um Anyone has any question? And I'm going to open up for questions and a bit of chatting. I know the team set this, it's well an hour, but they did set it to go on up until mostly half past, I think 4:30, giving us time for questions. I'm not gonna run away. I've managed to um to do a whole hour of chatting with you. So you can do another 30 minutes of more chats, questions and stuff. Love you, man. Really looking forward to getting my questions. Ah, thank you, Carrie. Thank you so much. Happy to have shared. Someone raised a hand. I think it was Lucy Samuel. Yes, Lucy, you can ask a question or you can make the point that you needed to make.
Okay. It was a nice presentation. Thank you very much for the information.
Thank
Um, my question is just very simple. Is it important for when you're meeting clients to refer to yourself as I or we, even though you don't have a team behind?
you. That's a tough one. Well, not really tough, but honestly, up to this day, sometimes sometimes I do most work alone, and I have just come to realization and making peace within me. Also, just for my peace of mind and not to refer as I. Most of the time, it's I because I don't want to start off by saying we and then it turns out, unless obviously as it's important as we're talking about this on we onboarding the client, you tell them that you are going to be working with Nompilo as the social media manager, but we also have Uvusi, who's going to be the photographer for your account, and we have Ulinda, who's going to be the editor. For example, because then your communication going forward makes it so much easier. But as you were welcoming them and you made it clear that it's just you working on their account, then again it gives the clear indication of how you refer to it going. I don't know, I feel like for being professional, for professionalism, and we like the we, but honestly, and sometimes faking it until you make it is nice, but I mean, do you have peace of mind doing that? You decide. I don't know if that was helpful for see.
Yes, it was helpful because I think what has happened is that big clients, when they give you, or they're potentially going to give you a project, they want to see if they can give you a subsequent one. So, if, for instance, they've given you one social media account, they probably have a group of
Mm,
social media accounts. But when you refer to, they think about the workload that you're gonna have to now do, and they then limit how they price you or how they approach pricing. But thank
mm.
you very much.
Mm. No, I hear you. I hear you. It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. Do we have any more questions, guys? We have a Collabora WhatsApp group where it's like a beautiful community of just freelancers, different industries, and we collaborate. We come together. We share what's in our minds. We share jobs, and we just share a lot, and we are there for one another as freelancers. So I think Ukeri did send us a link. Oh yay, look at that. If you go on our chat, just click the chat with everyone message box. There is a link to our WhatsApp. Please do make sure that you join it. We share so much on there. It's such a great support system for freelancers, and we share work. If there's anything you're gonna take out of this, we share work. But we also just really, really are there for each other. Do we have any more questions? or comments or anything. We have our details on the chat box also. If you need to send us an email as Collabora, please do so. Maybe you want to collaborate with us on some freelance matters. We would appreciate that. Always stay tuned for our webinars. We're going to do as much as we can because we love to share knowledge and information. That is our forte. I'm rambling because I'm waiting for questions. I don't want to just say bye. So if anybody wants again, there's something. Otherwise, have a good Friday.
Nompilo, thank you so much for, sorry, it's Qinile here.
Hi,
Thank you
Camille.
so much. That was a beautiful presentation.
Thank you,
So
Mama.
besides Notion, is there any other tech stack that you're using?
Honestly, as a social media manager, I used to use Elo. I used to use Emetricool because that's what I used to use like in industry while I was at corporate. So I was a big Metricool, like even starting out, I made sure I like get in my sense to ensure that so yeah, it's symmetrical, but also I can understand if maybe that's too niche based because I don't think it's for all freelancers. But like I said, in Monday is really great. What industry are you in, Glenil?
Myself, I'm a pharmacist, but I've just started doing this part-time to get extra money.
Oh,
Yes,
nice.
I did paid advertising. So I've just finished a course in paid advertising. Yes.
Oh, great. Big ups to you and all the best.
Thank
I'm sure
you.
you're gonna kill it. I would say Monday, try Monday to start off. But honestly, there's nothing wrong stopping you from using Notion also, even if it's for your paid industry, for your paid ad industry. Like I said, it's very, very flexible. And I've been doing so much for free, or so many accounts that I'm like handling on Notion that I would have been paying for on Metricool, which I understand what was for, but with Notion, I'm just doing it for free. So, if anyone has
Thank
suggestions,
you.
guys, please do share. I see Uvus is sharing. There's a link there. Best alternatives to Notion. Oh, nice. Okay, I'm gonna check that out myself. Definitely. Do you see that's the need
I think I lost it. I'm not sure.
on our chat box? Uvusi just shared like a Forbes article link where it has the best alternatives to Notion. So I think that could be great for
Okay,
us.
Vusi, please share on the Collabora
Will do.
group. Okay, thank you so much.
Do. My pleasure. Okay, I think I'm gonna let everybody go have a yawn now. Is that okay? Does Notion have the option to check analytics? No, that's where my thing with them is, Veronica. They don't have. So what I was paying for at Metricool was mostly like the analytics part. So now I have to do them manually. I mean, with as a business suit as a social media manager, it's not so bad. It's time consuming, but I mean, I am trying out Notions, and so far I'm happy. And even with doing it manually, we've been okay. But nope, it doesn't have analytics. Sorry. Yes, we'll see. Oh my gosh, why is it-
Just to add on that, on the alternatives, I've actually used ClickUp, mainly because ClickUp is similar to a corporate tool that I used to use. It
Oh,
has all the workflows, and you can set up obviously things like timelines.
mm,
You can set up statuses on where the project is, and you can kind of manage your entire like client flow
Mm.
with different parts of it. Um, in terms of pricing, when I compare it, it's a lot better when you're starting off, because it has a free version which already provides with a lot of the tools, and then you only need to pay for the specific ones, such as you linking to a social media when you're scheduling a post or something like that. But I've used that. Yeah, if you were used to something like Jira before or something like Trello,
Oh yeah.
ClickUp,
Oh yeah, Trill is another nice one. Thanks for
Click,
mentioning it.
ClickUp kind of integrates a lot of those, including things like where your files are stored. So let's just say now you want to pull in a client brief into a ticket or into a workflow, you can kind of do that. But yeah, I've used that, yeah, before.
Okay, so Trinile ClickUp.
Okay.
I'm also gonna
Okay.
be checking it
Thank you.
out.
All right. Thank you so much, Pussy.
Thank you. That was great. What else? Who else do we have? Is everybody happy? Very informative. Our pleasure, Linda. Linda's just saying thank you to everyone. Guys, I'm happy to stay, but like if there's nothing else coming, should I let you all go have a on? Go now. Thank you so much once again. The WhatsApp group is there. If you remember something, maybe a second after this chat, drop us a message. Or if you like me, sometimes it's very difficult to raise your hand up. It's okay. Then just raise your hand up there on the group, and we can always keep the conversation going. Thank you, guys. I think I said thank you so many times already. All the best on your freelance journeys. I'm here rooting for each and every one of y'all. Um, when you feel like dusting that CV, that's if you're a full-time freelancer, just let it collect the dust still, please, and continue on this journey, because no one said it would be easy, but honestly, the highs just always make up for the lows. And if you're doing freelancing as a side hustle, maybe you committed to somewhere, then also continue with your freelancing journey. The fact that you're already doing it, do not ever stop, because that is like indlela yakho yokuya sekukhanyeni lokho. How can I say this in English? Like it's your way to success. It's your way to the light. Honestly, we wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't, or if it was just. I know most of the time also we start off just as side hustles because we want to supplement our income, but why that particular side hustle? So let's all keep going, and let's all keep being there for one another. Bye, guys. Bye. Bye. I'm gonna end the call now. Can I end the call? Oh my gosh, I can't. Okay, thank you.